Hey guys, so this is the amazing evolution of Tiger Woods' golf swing through 6 golf coaches. Can you believe that? He's had 6 different golf swings in his time on the PGA Tour. So let's take a look at these amazing golf swings and the hallmarks of each. So Tiger Woods' first golf coach was Rudy Durand from the time of, say, 4 to 10. And although Tiger's a little bit older and he's had some more influences by this point, I think the fingerprints are probably there from his first golf coach. So we'll just start there and call this the Rudy Swing. Tons of width, and he hit the ball a mile. So if we go back to 1997, Tiger Woods led the Masters in driving distance with an average of 323 yards off the tee. Now that's remarkable because he's swinging a 43.5-inch driver. That's the length of a 3-wood today. And it had a steel shaft and a tiny head. And the ball he was playing was softer. But Tiger said that his swing speed was in the high 120s in this period, and that is pretty remarkable because he's back there now. It's insane to be in the 120s after 4 knee surgeries and 4 back surgeries. Unbelievable. But let's look at Tiger when he was really young, 21 years old, very supple. And this swing here we can see has a very wide stance because he's going to create a lot of power. This is definitely a power stance. So the first thing I want to mention is let's watch his head move off the ball. He moves off the ball about 5 inches, I would say, to load into that right side because he is going to create the widest circle possible. Now it's interesting because his coil back here in 1997, he's taking that club way deeper at this point than he does later in his career. He's only really taken it back 3/4. This is very similar to what I see in Jack Nicklaus, except for the massive sway. Jack was super wide, 3/4 backswing. And I would say that Tiger was very influenced by Jack early in his career. Yes, indeed. But let's take a look at this 3-wood. He reaches this par 5 and 2. I believe he was the first person to ever reach this par 5 and 2. But let's take a look at his deep backswing. He's going to cut this 3-wood down there. Here you see where he crosses the plane. Jack did the same thing. So Tiger's super wide and inside. But this is the biggest thing that I notice about Tiger's super fast young swing. It was a heck of a lash, created a lot of speed, but look at this Michael Jackson. Yeah, that's what I refer to the heel popping off the ground prematurely. Hee hee! Yeah, it's obviously Tiger was absolutely amazing. He won the Masters by 12 strokes. But I think when he saw his swing, his quote was, "My swing sucked, so I wanted to fix it." Lots of lateral side bend there. That's a young man's golf swing, I'll tell you. But the next swing we have here is from Butch Harmon, and the wildness of the swing has been tamed by this point. Man, this is a gorgeous move right here. Yes, indeed it is. So the first thing we're going to notice is Tiger Woods' head does not move. It still moves off the ball, but we're talking a couple inches. Ben Hogan's head moved off the ball as well. As he loads into that right side, he's got lots of width. Now notice the hands are higher. They're not as deep. And I think this is one of the things that really helped him refine his game, was not getting inside and coming across the line at the top. And he could really drive down the target line. Big lateral shift of the upper body, and that heel is still very high off the ground. But in general, I would say that his swing was more in control. Now, this is the greatest golf that was ever played. You know, Tiger Woods won the U.S. Open by 15 strokes. That's kind of insane, right? But let's take a look at these golf swings, these Butch swings. I think he definitely looks more in control. Oops. Don't want to get ahead of myself. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of these Butch swings. Yeah, he is definitely swinging well. So what we'll see with this driver swing is the hands are not so far inside. The club is more on plane at the top. Still a very similar Tiger drop move, and we see that heel pop up. So this is still going on at this point. But he's got lots of space. His hips are so far through, and he is just lashing that ball out there. It's really, really amazing. We'll watch this swing as well. Beautiful high set at the top. And quick hips, quick heel. But he was timing it very, very well at this point. My goodness gracious. 4 majors in a row, can't argue with that. So we move to the Hank Haney swing. So I say his first swing we saw was influenced by Jack Nicklaus. Now this Hank Haney swing, I think, is influenced by the great Ben Hogan. I know that Hank Haney loves Ben Hogan. And it's really cool to see Tiger swinging more in this style. So let's take a look at this golf swing here. This is the 2006 British Open. Another amazing ball striking round, especially with his irons. But look at his right heel. And look at the flatness of the swing. This is definitely some Hogan influence here. Oh, by the way, I believe Hank Haney also worked with Tiger on his grip. Got it more in the palm of the left hand. And he said, I can't hit the ball like that. And in the first swing, he fleshed it. More compact, a little bit more flat. But watch the use of the lower body here. Heel down. And then it starts to creep up a la Hogan as he comes through the ball and releases the club. High finish. Man, yeah, this was Hogan-y. Oh my gosh. Tiger Woods is so cool. So let's watch this next Hogan swing. Doesn't that kind of remind you of, look, this is the shell looking swing right here. Boom, look at that with the, the lean over. This reminds me so much of Ben Hogan and the some of those shots. I think he's hitting a draw at the shell with Sam Snead. Where he just, straightens up and, oh my gosh. Let's watch this frame by frame. Yeah, the shoulders are flatter, swinging across the chest, more compact. Look at this deep set. This is really Hogan-like. Oh my goodness gracious. Very cool. Now, I will make a note here that Hank's numbers were similar to the numbers, with Butch. I believe Tiger won a couple more majors under Butch, but Tiger's win percentage was a couple points higher under Hank. So he played some great golf with both golf swings. I think Tiger's irons were absolutely the best under Hank. But the funny thing is Tiger got shorter under Hank. He was hitting a ball that just, I think that Tiger's instinct is, he's got a killer instinct, so he doesn't want to hit a BB out there, So after this period, Tiger obviously split from Hank, and he joined up with Sean Foley, who had quite a stable of golfers in the late aught 2000s. So here's the Tiger Woods swing with Sean Foley. Looks like he's bent over a little bit more at the waist. Drops it inside. Then I always got the feeling like he was kind of trying to save it. He did some really, really great work. He hit some great irons, but his driver just wasn't quite the same. And Tiger, you know, he was Player of the Year. He won 5 tournaments in 2013. And, you know, that's pretty remarkable. But his back just was done at this point. Now, this is one of my favorite swings. It's so crazy. You know, Tiger takes it inside, then he takes it high, and then look at this divot, okay? Now, if you're taking this much turf, I would imagine it's going to take its toll on your body after some time. But this is the longest divot I've ever seen in my life. Is that a 2-foot-long divot? I don't even know how long that is. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Clean contact. And just look at that. Obviously, the ground is wet, what have you. But that's just amazing to me. But look at that right foot. He's got that right foot rolling on the inside ankle. And that's what I believe we really all want to have in our golf swing. We don't want to have the Michael Jackson move because I fought that for years and years. And one more Sean Foley swing. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, he really keeps the club outside of his hands. This is when the A swing was also going off. People are all trying to do keep the club way outside the hands and loop it. You know, things come into vogue. Yeah, tons of lateral side bend and swinging down the target line. So let's take a look at the Chris Como golf swing. He's not keeping the club outside the hands so far. Using those ground forces. Tiger looks a little bit thinner here too. I think that's good. It's a good look. Nice and trim. Heel down. Smoother transition with the lower body. But this looks like it's getting a little behind him and he's got to save it. You know, but he is having trouble with his back during this period as well. I mean, my goodness gracious. You know, Tiger's been through so much. It's unbelievable. And I just want to say real quick that the inspiration that Tiger's given us is just outstanding. I had quit the game of golf for 4 years. I swore I'd never play again. And then I saw Tiger Woods win the Masters in 1997. And that's when I got some new golf clubs, some old Wilson staffs that I bought for like $100, and I started working on my game again. But I played like crap until 2011 when I started my swing evolution, really. 2010 I started to really get into it. So here's Tiger Woods in 2018. Let's watch a couple of golf swings here. Yeah, he is looking pretty darn good in 2018. I really hope that he has a fantastic year. I hope he has a great Masters. Now, I see influences here, and I'm not saying Tiger's directly imitating or anything like that, but the way he's using the energy in his swing through the structure that he's built, it reminds me a little bit of Greg Norman. So let's take a look at this swing and remember Greg Norman. High hand set, whipping the club all the way to the finish. But most notably, watch his right foot. As he hits the ball, that right foot is dragging behind him. That foot drag, that toe drag is very reminiscent of Greg Norman. Unlike Greg Norman, Tiger's won 4 green jackets. So, Tiger, I'm so happy you're back in the game. You've been a huge inspiration in my life. And there's just something very special every time you tee it up. Can't thank you enough for having the courage to go through everything you've been through, for all of us golfers out there. So I hope that you give them hell at the Masters this week. I hope you hit them long and hit them straight. Hey guys, so let's cut to the chase. Here's my old golf swing. And here's my new golf swing. Five years ago, I started a YouTube channel, and I wanted to improve my golf swing by using Ben Hogan's 5 lessons. Well, guess what? It worked. And along the way, I picked up over 8 million views on YouTube, and I learned how to shoot under par. Unbelievable, right? Well, the great news is I have a brand new instructional video called The Hogan Code. In this video, I break down everything that I learned over my long journey to learn to swing like Ben Hogan. And now you can learn the very same techniques that I used to become the golfer I always wanted to be.